has always been the kind of man every woman prayed for: selfless, loving, and attentive to the needs of the woman he loved. At 32, he was a successful entrepreneur running a thriving logistic company in Lagos. Despite his busy schedule, Noah always made time for Amanda, the woman he had loved for the past 4 years. Amanda was 29, beautiful, charming, and had an infectious laugh that could brighten anyone's day. She worked as a marketing executive for a tech firm and had an active social life. Neil adored her and often marveled at how lucky he was to have her in his life. But behind Amanda's dazzling smile was a secret she worked hard to keep hidden. A secret that Neil had already known about a long time ago. It all started a year into their relationship when Amanda had asked Neil to charge her phone while she was in the bathroom. As Neil plugged in the device, a message notification popped up on the screen. Can't wait to see you tonight, babe. Let's make it special. From Kay. Neil's heart sank. He felt a rush of emotions: anger, betrayal, confusion, but he decided to remain calm. When Amanda returned, he acted as if nothing had happened. That night, Amanda stepped out, and Neil secretly followed her, and from a distance, he saw her embrace a man outside the restaurant. Neil's suspicion still wasn't confirmed. He wasn't sure Amanda was cheating on him. He needed more evidences. Instead of confronting her, Neil decided to stay silent. He spent sleepless nights questioning himself. Was I not enough? Did I miss something? Could I have done more? Rather than walking away, Neil chose to love Amanda even harder. He started paying closer attention to her needs, surprising her with thoughtful gifts and romantic getaway, shopping spree, exotic vacations. When she mentioned wanting to upgrade her wardrobe, Neil sent her shopping money without hesitation. If she hinted at wanting to visit a new restaurant, Neil made reservations before she even asked. Neil's hope was that by showing her unconditional love and care, Amanda would change. One evening, they laid together on the couch of the living room, and Amanda's phone buzzed on the table. She glanced on the screen before picking it up. It's a business meeting, she said, a little too quick, and walked out of the living room to answer the call. Neil's heart pounded as he listened to the low murmur of her voice through the glass door. He waited for her to come back, but when she did, she didn't mention anything about the conversation or call. Neil looked at her with suspicion, but Amanda's eyes were bright and carefree. Is everything okay? She asked, as if nothing had happened. Neil nodded, forcing a smile, but inside, he knew something was shifting in his balance of the relationship. A few weeks later, Neil was sitting at his desk, working late into the night. Amanda was fast asleep. Her phone beeped, and a message came in from an unknown number. Curious, Neil opened it and saw the words: I can't wait to see you tomorrow. I miss you. From Kay. The blood drained from Neil's face. He knew that name. He remembered seeing it pop up once on Amanda's phone. The man was someone Amanda had mentioned only once, saying he was a business associate. The lies felt like a tight noose around his chest. The following week, Amanda mentioned that her mother was unwell. She spoke to Neil about it, in a voice heavy with worry, explaining that she needed money for medical bills and a treatment she couldn't afford on her own. Without hesitation, Neil sent her money, thinking only of her pains and wanting to support her family in any way he could. That weekend, Neil decided to pay her a visit to know how her mother was doing. As he arrived at Amanda's apartment, he noticed her phone on the kitchen counter. A notification popped up, and Neil immediately read it, and the message reads: Thanks for everything, love. I owe you one D. A jolt of realization hit Neil. The money he had given her wasn't for her mother. It was for a man. He stood there, staring at her phone, heart pounding with betrayal and disbelief. The very reason he had supported her, the very reason he had stood by her side for years, had been a lie. Amanda came downstairs, only to see Neil gazing at her phone. Neil, what are you doing here? Amanda stammered, but Neil didn't answer. Instead, he placed the phone down and looked at her with a mixture of pain and anger. I don't want to play games anymore with you, Amanda, he said, his voice shaking. She tried to explain, but he walked out, unable to hear her excuses any longer. Amanda followed him and explained herself. It was my cousin I sent the money to pay my mother's bills, and I also gave him money to sort himself out. That was why he was thankful. I couldn't go to see my mother in the hospital because office work called, and it was impromptu, she explained. Noah tried not to believe her, but she sounded very serious. Despite everything, Neil still wanted to believe that Amanda could change. He spent days battling with his thoughts, but he finally convinced himself that love and sacrifice is all it takes to make a perfect relationship. One night, as they sat by the beach, the sounds of the wave crashed against the shore of the backdrop to their conversations. Neil reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. He dropped on one knee, eyes glittering with hope and sincerity. Amanda was shocked, unable to believe her eyes. Amanda, I know things haven't been perfect between us, but I want you to know that I really do love you and care about you. I want to build a future with you, Amanda. It's you or no one else. Will you marry me? Amanda's eyes lit with surprise, tears streaming down her cheek. She looked at him, holding his hands, and replied, Yes, I will marry you, Neil. Their joy knew no bound. They were so happy for each other and couldn't contain themselves. For a moment, he allowed himself to believe that maybe, just maybe, they could start over. He loved her so much to allow anything hinder their relationship from being fruitful. A few months before their wedding, Neil noticed Amanda receiving a call at the middle of the night in the living room. He paused to listen to her. He heard her yelling at someone not to call her again, that the pregnancy doesn't belong to him but Neil. She stated that she was already 3 months gone. Neil was shocked. He couldn't believe his ears. He turned from getting the water from the kitchen to his room. He went to bed, trying to sleep, and the thought of Amanda being pregnant weighed heavily on him. He was disappointed, heartbroken and shattered. He couldn't take it any longer. The next morning, Neil confronted Amanda. Who is Kay? Amanda froze. What are you talking about? You don't have to lie to me anymore, Amanda. You're pregnant for Kay, and I know that. Amanda's mouth widened in shock. Neil, I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't know who Kay is. Neil shook his head. I have known you for years, Amanda. I've seen you with other men. I've heard your scandals from people. I stayed because I thought I wasn't doing enough. I wanted to prove my love to you in every possible way. And I wanted to make this work, but I can't do it anymore. You are not only a cheat, but a liar. I realized you can never change. Even when as far as getting pregnant for him, you're so heartless, Amanda. After all I've done for you, all the sacrifices I have made to make our relationship work, I ignored all the things you've done, all the things you do. I turned a blind eyes to all of them. And this is how you pay me back, by getting pregnant? Amanda pleaded and pleaded for forgiveness and a second chance. But Neil's eyes was filled with tears. I love you, Amanda. Rather, I loved you, Amanda. I gave you everything. And it was never enough. I can't keep rewriting my stars to fit a story that was never meant to be. Neil ended the relationship there and then and asked her to pack her things out of his house. After several days of staying apart, it took time for him to heal, focusing on himself and the dreams he had put on hold. He poured his energy into his business, expanding it into other states and hiring a team to help manage the growing demand. He traveled, reconnected with old friends, and found joy in the simple things he had once overlooked. Amanda, on the other hand, struggled with the loss. Her motherhood state wasn't easy for her. She realized too late what she had thrown away. A man who truly loved her unconditionally and would have moved mountains for her. Though she tried to reach out to Neil several times, he never responded. He had closed that chapter of his life for good. 2 years later, Neil met Adora, a kind hearted architect with a passion for helping others. Unlike Amanda, Adora valued honesty and loyalty above all else. Their relationship blossomed naturally, built on mutual respect and shared dreams. Neil finally found the love that he had always deserved, proving that sometimes letting go is the only way to truly rewrite the stars. Thank you so very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the story. Please do also like, share, and subscribe to Substance TV for more amazing stories, movie recommendations, and reviews. See you guys in my next video. Until then, stay splendid.